Hello, hello, and welcome to Talk of the Town for May 2026. We have a hand-drawn doodle, as always. I guess the cursor logo looks a little bit less like a flower than Claude's and OpenAI's, but that's definitely a theme of the month, unsurprisingly, is people wanting to take the code that their agents are generating and deploy it to a live shareable URL very easily. So a lot of that sort of use case happening in Valtown. And with that, I'll get into some of these vals from the community, which is of course the point of this series. I'll click around, open up some links, and demo some fun stuff. There's a couple dozen, so probably won't be able to show them all, but a lot of fun stuff here. So first of all, Justin Huberti is back at it again with another OpenAI demo. Justin's the head of real time at OpenAI, and he made this real time typer with the new Whisper model. Let me just demo it here. All right, so these pretzels are making me thirsty. Yeah, definitely pretty fast. Cool, I'll stop that there. And that's, yeah, like I said, the new Whisper model, really low latency. And I think you can even toggle the latency on his val there. And then he also updated his Hello Real-Time demo, which does have a web version, but you can actually also call it. So I'm going to give it a call at that number. Let's see.
Hello, we're using the OpenAI Real-Time API powered by the GPT Real-Time 2 model. It brings built-in reasoning for more accurate, reliable responses.
Can I interrupt you? Is that okay?
Yes, you can interrupt me. That's totally okay. Just jump in whenever you need
All
to.
right, that's probably enough. Why don't you go ahead and hang up the call?
Okay, sounds good. Wrapping up now.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And like I said, you can obviously call it yourself or check out and remix the val if you want to play with it and actually, use it in whatever workflow makes sense for you. So speaking of demos and spinning up agents, Charlie on our team built this Claude managed agents val. So Anthropic released their managed agents last week, and as Michael on the Anthropic team said, this is like a really easy way to get those agents running in just a couple minutes. So you really just have to add your Anthropic API key. And I won't pull it up here, but Charlie had some videos about showing how to do that and how quick it really was for him to set that up. So pretty neat. And Charlie also updated our AI Slackbot template. And it's even lower friction to set up than before because there's a manifest file that'll add scopes and fill in the webhook URL and stuff like that. So that's been a popular use case for sure, is creating Slack bots and I guess a Slack agent so that you can do whatever you'd like for your team, opening PRs, checking against your data if you want to ask data analyst type questions, but that's been a neat use case. Moving on, this one's really cool. So Tice made this custom like pocket e-reader, I guess, and the backend is running on Valtown with pulling like a reading list and converting it to an ebook format and whatnot. And Tice has a bunch of cool vals, including his personal website, which actually not the only personal website in a val in this month's Talk of the Town, but definitely a really good one. Let's see. So Eric from Kernel, Eric, prolific blogger and Kernel, friend of Valtown. He made a Playwright CDP Connect val, and the Kernel team has a bunch of vals. If you want to use browsers, spin up browsers programmatically, they have some different vals here that you could remix. Paul Kinlan, also friend of Valtown and lead on the Chrome DevRel team. He was back at it again with a Hacker News Watcher val using, I think, web push notifications, which was pretty neat. And the next one here, Omar from Tempo, which is kind of like Stripe's blockchain version of X402, made this MPP demo for the machine payments protocol. And then, this next one's actually one of my favorites. So Kaspars, who founded Whimsical, the whiteboarding app, he made this cron val that'll check domains that he wants to register and wait until they're available and send him an email if they do become available. And we remix this into a template. So you can add domains as environment variables, and then you can get an email. It'll store the results in SQLite, and you'll be notified and able to register domains that you've been keeping an eye on. So very cool, very cool. Mariano, who is a WASM expert and runs the Feeling of Computing community, formerly known as Future of Coding. He made this recursive task list val, again using SQLite and the newish OAuth helper from Valtown. So you can always have your vals with an auth layer if you want to limit access to your team or really whatever you'd want to do with it. Shri has been making some cool vals too. So he made this vSky network val for the Atmosphere, that Proto community. Pretty cool. And speaking of at Proto, Alex McRoberts made a thread reader for Blue Sky using a val.run domain here. BTR is in Blue Sky thread reader. And Steve on our team has been, as always, making some different vals and recording videos, including this Valtown 101, sort of like a learn how programming works, learn to code, learn Valtown. And so definitely a cool video to pass along to that sort of friend you have who maybe is interested in vibe coding or learning how to build websites. Jen Schiffer, also featured in another Talk of the Town recently, made a counting sheep on Blue Sky val. Pretty cool, uses cron jobs, blob, storage, environment variables, lots of, and friendship, lots of Valtown features, and does what it says it does, counts sheep on Blue Sky. Give that a follow and you can see the cathartic sheep counting. Kamal has been making some cool stuff, another prolific Valtown user. I would recommend spending a few minutes on this flag quiz if you want, just a fun part of your day. Let's test myself live here. Ooh, I should know this. South Sudan, right? There we go. Cool. That's a fun way to spend a few minutes for sure. Nico, also a prolific Valtown user, has been making all sorts of cool stuff. You can see some of those that we've linked out here, including a push notification setup for Valtown, which can be useful. And then Peter has also been always making neat new vals. I won't go through all the rest of these here, but Raymond, another Valtown fan and always putting out cool stuff, wrote about sports ball stuff on Valtown. So I'll probably call it there because there's so many here, and of course, like beyond the ones that we've shared here. But again, if you'd like to be featured, definitely share whatever vals, whatever you're working on in our Discord channel. And thanks to Octolens, who pull up that blog post that we wrote recently, who helps us see all the different notifications and mentions of Valtown around the web. And we always get notifications in our Discord channel. So that's a wrap for this month's Talk of the Town. Thanks for watching.